My name is Richard Davis. I'm the Director for Public Engagement and Constituent Services here at MnDOT. I'm also proud to be a gold champion for improving the external customer experience. Across MnDOT over the past several months, there have been many outstanding examples of work on both sides of the WIG pyramid, advancing equity as well as improving intentional customer engagement. The Round 1 winners, as part of our Shout Out recognition program, have taken an early lead in helping MnDOT find ways to move toward reaching our wildly important goal. Both in my capacity as a WIG champion and also as an office director, it's been my pleasure to meet with different teams all across the agency to learn more about the outstanding work that they've done as part of WIG 2.0. And because we see the passion and the energy and we wanted to recognize that from this office, we stepped up to help fund some of the Shout Out Recognition Award recipients. Now let's take a look at the winning teams and the hard work that they've done across the state as part of Round 1 for WIG 2.0.
My name is Chase Fester. I'm the District 7 Maintenance Superintendent, and the Windham Subarea's WIG is responding to customer concerns or complaints within a 48-hour time period. The idea was thought up by dealing with landowners over the years or traveling public on are we following up with their concerns within the right amount of time and a respectable amount of time. So we kind of basically decided that we were going to track when we received a call or concern and make sure we follow up within that 48-hour time period. Whether that be through phone, email, stopping by and talking to the individual. So for the most part, everybody was really receptive to it. You know, the smaller areas, rural truck stations, you're involved in the towns and in the rural populations quite a bit. So you're seeing the people that you're dealing with on a day-to-day basis a lot of times. So they felt that they owed it to their neighbors to be responsible and respond back to them and be respectful with what they were looking for. Other than that, things have been really positive since this WIG has started, and we continue it on our day-to-day operations now.
I'm John Bienick. I'm the Maintenance Operations Engineer for the Metro District. Our sub-WIG was to achieve supervisor engagement by going from having 0 supervisor engagement discussions to 3 supervisor engagement discussions in the next 6 months. We developed a kind of a curriculum of different topics to go through, and we typically would meet with each supervisor for about an hour. We'd schedule about 3 or 4 meetings. In those meetings, we'd have conversations about what they're interested in and what they'd like to do with their careers and jobs, and what problems and what issues they're having. How could we maybe help?
Hi, my name is Tiffany Dagan, one of the Maintenance Operations Engineers in Metro Maintenance. We kept the format of the first couple meetings pretty open to say, what do you want to talk about? You know, what do you want to tell us about? What concerns do you have? The feedback has been positive, that they have appreciated that we've taken the time to talk to them and ask them, you know, what's important to them.
Our sub-WIG was to improve the new employee onboarding process for our full-time employees for the time period from 0 to 6 months. I'm Chris Johnson, and I'm the Human Resource Manager here at District 2. So the benefits to our office are that now we have streamlined processes because we have a very thorough checklists that allow us to make sure that we're following processes, and we can easily pick up where the other person has left off, and we can be sure that nothing has been missed. We have a very good process so that the technology is in place, and that's always a real challenge, is to make sure that we work with the IT office. And we also have something kind of unique that our training and development specialists make sure that the employee gets set up with a mentor, and then within the first 3 months he goes back with the employee, checks back in with them, makes sure that they have kind of settled in, what kind of concerns they're still having, and to make sure that you know, kind of their needs are being met. So we're doing just a lot of things to make sure that our employees are getting a good start here.
I'm Barb Kreiser and I work in the Office of Transit at MnDOT here. We put together the new employee resource book to help with workforce retention. We found that this improved our office by connecting us a little bit better, not just the new employees, but the employees that have been here for almost 44 years with our office. We want to make sure that we're retaining our new employees and all of our employees within the office. That also develops a higher level of trust within our external customers by carrying on the same message to them and also having the same focal point that they can contact you and being their liaison when they need to call MnDOT for various reasons. We also found that this was a way to include everybody in the office by sharing this information with them and having them give their viewpoint on how we could improve the product that we put out.
I am Anna Craig. I am the office admin for the Office of Freight and Commercial Vehicle. Within the Office of Freight and Commercial Vehicle Operations, we provide authority to operate certain types of companies. Household good moving companies, limousine drivers, party buses. Our WIG was to provide contact clarity and easier access for our customers. We made individual flow charts for each individual authority type that we would hand out to the customers who came in. We also have it on the website for them to be able to access themselves. One of the things that we noticed that prompted this to become our WIG was that there's a language barrier between us and a majority of our customers because English is their second language. And the communication was difficult for both them and us. So it was a way for us to try and help them more and kind of get past that language barrier.
Hi, my name is Jay Jorgensen and I'm the District 8 Lab Supervisor. And our sub-WIG was to complete an example of a sample ID card to decrease errors on cards and help our lab be more proficient in testing samples. To help our customers and to help the people that were out in the field, to give them examples of the sample identification cards so that they could actually fill them out while they were sampling the sample. It really sped up the process, of helping get everybody on the same page. This is what we need on this line, or this is what we need on the back of the card. Part of it is just some people just didn't know what to put on the cards. I mean, it was no fault of theirs. It was just something that they just didn't know. By giving these example cards handed out to the inspectors or to really anybody, it will help them put in the correct information on the correct spot.
I'm Kevin Schmidt, District Right-of-Way Engineer for District 3. Our sub-WIG was to reduce the misdirected calls received by the right-of-way office to 1 per week. Many times the general public doesn't know who to call, so they call the district office front desk number. And so by creating this sub-WIG, we were also helping the other functional groups by redirecting the customer through the front office at the very first call for any question that they might have that was commonly being asked. It seems that the front desk staff has noticed a little bit less frustration in who to call. So by having a quick ready reference at the front desk, that makes their job more efficient, and I'm sure that reduces the call wait time for other customers that are also in line for asking an important question of staff.
My name is Ed Welch, and I'm a project supervisor as a grad 2 here in Owatonna Construction Office. Our WIG is to improve internal customer service through reduced response time. Our goal is to reduce response time to less than 2 business days for 100% of internal inquiries from internal customers by June 2017, then maintain that 100% response rate through June 2018. We kind of chose the WIG because our guys are tracking a lot of things out in the field, and we have a lot of tight timelines in construction where quick responses are very valuable. So we kind of picked this as something that's easy for our guys to track and we think can make a difference. I'm seeing some improved efficiencies because we're getting back to people quickly, and we're also seeing those people interacting back quickly with us if there's a back and forth, multiple times back and forth. And that efficiency is really nice with construction projects because we can have decisions that need to be made that day. And when we can do that, that's great.
Hi, my name's Colin Lee. I work in the photogrammetric unit within the Office of Land Management. Photogrammetry is the art and science of measuring from photographs. So we make metric measurements from 2 photographs that we put up in a stereo pair. We are at the very beginning of the construction process. Our sub-WIG was to develop tools for aid in recruitment. We had an outdated stereo test, an exam that anybody who applies for a position within the photogrammetric unit needs to take and pass, and we decided to update that to hope to increase our candidate pool to draw from for the future. Phase 2, we're working with the Office of Civil Rights developing presentation materials or outreach materials that we plan to present to high school students. And Phase 3 will be actually a class out at Arden Hills. We'll do a full day based around photogrammetry and remote sensing.
Hi, my name is Tim Paul. I'm a project supervisor in the surveys and construction department in St. Cloud office. Our team sub-WIG for St. Cloud surveys was elimination of the ASAP survey requests. Or A to B, it was to improve the survey request process by 4/27/2017. We kind of had things off, just head first, and we go at things, but this was one item we needed to get better control of. And we felt it would help the internal customer that we were working with, all the other departments as well, if we were to improve this system. With the sub-WIG that we've completed, we were using that daily. So the other internal groups are using it. We've improved that system. We're seeing more efficiencies with it. We're seeing a little better control, better documenting of what we're doing. What I really feel it did, though, is it brought the group to the notion or the idea in the end that this does work, the WIG does work. It is worth the short periods of effort every week for a result that we use daily now. So we have moved on now, and we're trying to develop a second sub-WIG.
My name is Mary Safgren, and I'm the Planning Director for District 4. Our sub-WIG is to improve external involvement in scoping. Our team selected this sub-WIG because in the process of scoping, we need to gather information from our regional development organizations and also from our metropolitan planning organization, but we really didn't have a process in place. We put together a set of questions that we sent to our partners. Prior to sending the questions, we sit down and go through a spreadsheet of all our projects that we have in the 10-year plan. By completing our WIG, it helped our team establish a process to get information from our RDOs and MPO prior to scoping.
My name is Kevin Edwards. I'm a transportation generalist senior here at Oakdale Truck Station. Our sub-WIG was increase internal customer knowledge, skill, and satisfaction through conducting training on guardrail systems and increased efficiency for guardrail inventory in storage. Our guardrail parts up in our cold storage was very unorganized. Guys that go up there to get parts, they didn't know what a ET top post was from SKT top post. So we organized everything, marked everything, took pictures of everything and marked it with part numbers so they can actually see if there's something that's missing or gone out of inventory. They can tell me or Darren and we can order the parts for them.
My name is Darren Doles. I'm the Transportation Generalist Senior here at the Oakdale Truck Station. When we implemented it at first, it was great training because most of them didn't know an ET system from an SKT system. So they got to learn and go hands-on on all the different parts before we started even going out there and fixing the stuff, find out what they were for and what their function was. It sped up our process of being able to go out in a timely manner and correct the issues out there so so the general public would have been safer by having the system corrected.
Hi, I'm Tracy Hatch. Thank you to everyone that completed and submitted your sub-WIG for this first round of shout-out recognition for WIG 2.0. I am so proud and so impressed of all of the projects that you've undertaken and delighted that you found ways in your own work area to earn customer trust. Watch for Shout-Out Round 2 later this year, when you'll have another opportunity to be formally recognized for your innovation and creativity toward helping us meet our WIG 2.0 goal of earning customer trust. We hope these stories from your coworkers have inspired and energized you as you continue making weekly commitments toward meeting our collective goals. Again, I thank you for all of your hard work and dedication to MnDOT's wildly important goal. Together, we really are earning customer trust.